Strange Facts You May Never Know Part 1. Have you ever experienced or witnessed a scene that you feel you have heard or experienced one or more times? This phenomenon is called déjà vu. Déjà vu is a French word meaning seen before. The multiverse theory says that when you experience déjà vu, it is extremely important that you are in the right place and at the right time, because you have dreamed about that scene and have subconsciously remembered it. So when it becomes reality before your eye, your subconscious mind is signaling to you that you have witnessed this moment. This is the intersection of parallel realities where you coexist and take place inadvertently. This also solves the doubts of those who say that they can dream of their future, so your dreams are not accidental. Strange Facts You May Never Know Part 2. What if we lost our perception of time? To answer this question, the explorer Christian Klot conducted an experiment called Deep Time Project. In this experiment, he and 14 other volunteers lived in a cave for 40 days. They did not have watches, phones, did not see sunlight, and did not communicate with the outside world. They had enough food reserves for 40 days, but had to take water from the bottom of the cave and use a power-generating bicycle to create electricity. They learned to live together and complete tasks without realizing how long time had passed. When the experiment was almost over, the explorer realized that the lack of data in the brain to recognize the passage of time, like a clock or sunlight, had distorted the perception of time for members of the group. Although they were in the cave for up to 40 days, most members only got about 30 sleep cycles. This shows that time passed very slowly for them. After the experiment ended, many members said it was like pressing pause on life, and during that time, they no longer knew what time was. Strange Facts You May Never Know Part 3. This is why the genius scientist Nikola Tesla was obsessed with these numbers 3, 6, and 9. He once said that, if we could understand the mystical power of these numbers, we could unlock the secrets of the universe. To understand this, we need to know that humans did not create mathematics, but discovered it. Here are some things Tesla discovered. When we double 1, we get 2. When we double 2, we get 4. When we double 4, we get 8. When we double 8, we get 16. The sum of 1 and 6 is 7. When we double 7, we get 14. The sum of 1 and 4 is 5. When we double 5, we get 10. The sum of 1 and 0 brings us back to number 1. And this pattern repeats infinitely, without the appearance of numbers 3, 6 and 9. Interestingly, when we double 3, it becomes 6, and when we double 6, we get 12. The sum of 1 and 2 is already 3. These two numbers complement each other. Only 9 is the highest independent number. If 3 and 6 are positive and negative respectively, then number 9 is a higher entity that dominates this universe. Strange Facts You May Never Know Part 4. There was a prehistoric sea monster that could even devour the super shark megalodon. This is the Leviathan, a whale fish, but it has jaws that are no different from those of a Tyrannosaurus rex. It is up to 18 meters long, the same size as a modern-day whale but with ferocious hunting skills, because it is too large. Its main food source is giant sea creatures, including other whales. Its skull is up to 3 meters long, 3 times larger than that of a killer whale, with an ultra-wide jaw that can easily swallow an adult human. Its teeth are up to 36 centimeters long, larger than a human's thigh, and making it the largest biting animal in the world. This monster lived at the same time as the super shark megalodon, and they were likely enemies and even ate each other. Strange Facts You May Never Know Part 5. The following events will show you that past pandemics may not have been a coincidence. First, there was the Marseille plague. It broke out in 1720 in the city of Marseille, France, and spread to nearby cities, killing over 100,000 people. Next, in 1817, the cholera epidemic broke out in India and spread to many other countries. It took the lives of 1 to 2 million people. Then in 1918, the Spanish flu pandemic caused by the H1N1 flu virus killed 20 to 50 million people. And about 100 years later, in 2019, the coronavirus appeared in China and became a global pandemic. Currently, the total number of infections has reached nearly 700 million cases. The question here is, why is there a global pandemic disaster every 100 years or so? Is it just a coincidence? Strange Facts You May Never Know Part 6. The next pandemic could originate from the melting of ice at the 2 geographic poles of the Earth. Some recent studies have shown that in the giant icebergs, there are many ancient viruses trapped deep under the permafrost for thousands of years. However, global warming is melting the permafrost layer and inadvertently releasing ancient viruses into the environment. Some strains can cause death in a short time with a fast rate of spread. They are completely new to modern science, so there is no prevention or treatment method. The scary thing is that they are called giant viruses because they possess very large genetic material. Scientists are increasingly recording more new ancient virus species with higher frequency due to ice melting due to climate change. Some of them are even still active and quickly infect host cells, although buried deep underground more than 305 meters in 30,000 years. Ancient giant viruses will be more dangerous, more resilient, and harder to treat than modern viruses. Strange facts you may never know, Part 7. This is DMT, a very powerful hallucinogen found in many plants and animals. And the special thing is that the human brain also secretes this substance at 3 important times. That's when we were born, when we were dreaming, and when we die. In addition, it is also considered the element of divinity and used to communicate with divinity. In the culture of ancient Egypt and the Maya Empire, many cases of accidentally eating this substance, it makes them have indescribable experiences from communicating with extraterrestrial entities, moving to a completely strange reality. Some cases even say that they have lived a life from birth to death in another world, but when they wake up, everything has only passed for a few minutes. So the question is whether this reality is just the process of the body experiencing DMT. Maybe you will never know. Strange facts you may never know, Part 8. This is white torture, the most terrifying psychological torture ever used by humans. It is called that because when you are punished like this, you will be imprisoned in a white room with white clothes, all white objects and white food. Maybe you think this is not too scary, right? However, when locked in here, you will no longer see anyone and also cannot hear any sound. The only thing you are fed is white rice on a white plate. This torture method is so terrible that in the early time of being imprisoned here, you will gradually lose your senses. And after a while, you will lose your sense of self. You will no longer remember who you are and forget your family, even forget all the memories you ever had. And when released, you will permanently lose your previous personality and become a completely different person. Strange facts you may never know, Part 9. This is the hypothesis of the rapid evolution of humans, called the stone ape theory. This hypothesis is related to DMT, a very powerful hallucinogenic substance that makes the brain work at high power. Going back 200,000 years ago, when the living environment changed, the ancient apes had to change their diet, and some of the foods they ate contained extremely high levels of DMT. This had a huge impact on the mind's development and changed the brain structure of human ancestors. Coincidentally, this is also the time when ancient apes started to develop rapidly in language ability and social organization on a large scale. And even stranger, when the brain size of modern humans has decreased by more than 50%, that has more wrinkles than ancestors. This hypothesis has become even more accurate, as 200,000 years is too short and almost impossible for a species to evolve so dramatically from an ancient primate to a dominant species on the entire planet who have even conquered space. Strange facts you may never know, Part 10. Humans have never known the true appearance of dinosaurs. Look at the picture. The first picture is the skeleton of a hippopotamus. The second picture is how it is reconstructed if all humans know about them are fossil skeletons. However, their actual appearance is not that scary. Similarly, with the bones of modern animals, if only based on the bones to reconstruct, they will definitely be much more terrifying than their actual appearance. Back to dinosaurs. All humans know about them are the remaining fossils. The appearance of dinosaurs is reconstructed like a monster, with rough skin, thorns, and corners, all of which are imagined by humans. However, their appearance may be colorful like this. Maybe dinosaurs also have a white coat like a polar bear, or may also have a feather coat like a bird. And most likely, humans will never be able to know exactly what the true appearance of dinosaurs looks like.